let's get started or not started. Let's continue with the battles and check in on battle number three. The first team leader of battle number three being the undefeated Crossbrander Brawlers, led by Nahel, playing for the People in Need charity, currently in first place at 4-0. Not only with no losses, but also only two faints. Um, so the stats, the Pokemon on this team is being very just survivable. Only having two faints, having three different 6-0 sweeps. Um, and again, only two knockouts at all so far. The Volcarona having shown up but not having any knockouts yet. The Hisuian Gudra leading this team with knockouts with 9 and 1, being one of the Pokemon that has fallen from this team. Um, but still, 9 and 1 KD basically is just fantastic. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Of this team being the Greninja and the Conkeldurr. Greninja, or each of the Pokemon at 0-0, neither of them have any knockouts or feints. I don't remember if the Greninja has shown up yet, but I know the Conkeldurr has. I really don't remember if Greninja showed up, but um, yeah. Okay, so Greninja has not shown up, but Conkeldurr has. I think Conkeldurr shown up either once or twice, and didn't get any knockouts or feints, so it's just kind of there. The Argumons of this team being the namesake Golisopod at 1-1, the Weavile at 3-0, and the Galarian Weezing at 4-0. Both of these Pokemon. Unfortunately, the Golisopod hasn't been able to do anything quite yet. I mean, he's done something, but he has been just burnt a lot. Um, I say the name. What name? The Galarian Weezing, though, just being the annoyance that it's supposed to be, being able to get up those Will-O-Wisps and just cut the attack of any on any physical attacker. That's how I Elder. That's how I've learned to say it. But anyway, you see the ending of this team being the Mantine at 3-0. Um, that looks the same exact. But anyway, the Mantine at 3-0. Just having the chance to set up the Rain Dance being just really speedy and having the ability of having that Roost to get its HP back up is just really strong. The Electros and the Araquanid. The Araquanid is brand new to this team. Um, it was just traded from the. Remember what it was. Let me double check this before I say anything wrong. The Ambipom, that's right. So they traded from the Ambipom for this Araquanid. Hasn't shown up yet, obviously, because it was just traded. And the Electros, I think, has shown up, just hasn't done anything yet because it didn't have to. And the PUmons of this team, being the Galvantula, being the Whimsicott at 3-0, Masquerain at 0-0, and Runerigus at 1-0. I do believe the Masquerain was also traded. Let me double check. Yeah, Masquerain was traded for the Galarian Corsola, which absolutely terrifying. It's not going to show up this week though because it was just traded at the end of the week, so it obviously wasn't here for this battle. But yeah, this team is looking to just continue, just being really good and not having any knockouts. Potential of this team just being fantastic, but their opponents for this week looking to take them down is the Pallet Penguins, led by Beast Penguin, playing for the St. Jude's Children's Hospital, currently 4th place at 3-1, suffering their first loss last week against myself, unfortunately. I don't know why I said unfortunately, but the Oyumons of this team being the Cinderace and the Hydreigon. The Cinderace being at 2 and 3, just a really good Pokemon to just get in there, do some damage, and die. That's kind of the point of Cinderace. If you can let it survive, that's great too. But just Cinderace is really good at being a revenge killer, being able to get in there and do some damage. The Hydreigon, of course, at 3-1, taking down 3 of my Pokemon last week quite easily. but of course, unfortunately falling to that Meowscarada. The Yu-Mons of this team being the Gengar and the Swampert, each having 4 knockouts, with the Gengar fainting 3 times, the Swampert standing strong at 4-0. That just chonky, man. Both of these chonky Pokemon are just able to deal so much. Well, I mean, I can't really say Gengar is chonky. He just looks chonky. The Frog Penguin, my bad. Frog Penguin, chonky man, just punching things and smacking things and surviving things. The Frog Penguin. You see the Argumons of this team being the Gardevoir, the Swellow, and the Heracross. Gardevoir at 2-2. Swellow at 3-2, just a really fast Pokemon, able to just outspeed, do some damage, just like with Cinderace, just do a massive amount of damage with both the Guts ability and the Scrappy ability, just able to get in there and smack things. And the Heracross having shown up, but falling to a Play Rough from a Meowscarada. You see the Enneamons of this team being the Duraludon at 1-1, the Heliolisk and the Muck each at 0-0. The Muck not having shown his pretty little face yet. Gross. And the Heliolisk having shown up but not really doing anything quite yet. With the Piyumons of this team, with the Lapras at 0-0, the Archeops at 3-0. Archeops able to come in, outspeed, and just smack things. Again, a lot of these teams, a lot of these Pokemon on this team, just able to outspeed and just do so much damage. The Slaking has not shown his face yet either, with the Gourgeist at 1-1. We did see some really cool tech from this Gourgeist. The Trick or Treat turning something into a Ghost type to set it up for the Ghost type move that came in later. A really cool and really underrated Pokemon, I think, that Gourgeist is. Yeah, 2 really strong teams going against each other. Let's see the starting lineups of these teams. You see the Brawlers with the Golisopod making another appearance. Golisopod hoping to not get burned today. And if it doesn't get burned, we shall celebrate. The Conkeldurr showing up. He hasn't shown up in a while, so it's good to see his... I can't really see his face because he has his back to me, but see his face again. The Volcarona showing up again. The Weavile making another appearance. The Electros hiding behind that Lunarigus. Electros just being a really strong Pokemon, considering it doesn't have any super effective weaknesses unless you use Knockoff or Smackdown. It has Levitate and it's electric type, so it cannot be hit super effectively unless it's on the ground, which, let's face it, specific Pokemon, like not too many Pokemon can learn Smackdown or Gravity even. So Electros able to just not be hit super effectively and just being really chonky as well. Volcarona, of course, being a really good Quiver Dancer, something that's just terrifying on just a naturally bulky Pokemon, and not just that, but like Quiver Dancing on a strong special attacking Pokemon with potential of a Fire Dance to boost its special attack even more. This team just really, really scary looking over here, but not to discount this team that is also looking scary. We see the Pallet Penguins with the Swampert coming back with that Frog Penguin. Taking a break last week on the bench to cheer on his team, but he is back with a vengeance. We see the Gourgeist next to him with the Duraludon as well. The Archeops making another appearance as well, trying to get some more knockouts to his name. And the Heliolisk showing up as well as the Cinderace coming back. I believe the Cinderace has not missed a battle yet. This has been the most commonly brought Pokemon of this team, and I'm pretty sure the Golisopod as well hasn't missed a battle. But of course, why would Golisopod miss a battle? That Pokemon is just too good to not bring. But let's go in. Let's start this battle and start the battle and see what happens? Question mark? Alright, let's go. The cross-branded Brawlers bring in the Golisopod first with the Pallet Penguins leading with that Swampert. Golisopod going for an immediate first impression, not knocking down this Swampert, but doing a lot of damage with the Rock Slide coming in to return. Swampert immediately switching out into Halloween Penguin to frisk the choice band of this Golisopod. That's actually kind of scary, the Conkeldurr then switching in and getting burned from his Flame Orb with the Trick or Treat being set up from this Gourgeist. But the knockoff not quite taking it down, but doing a bunch of damage to this Gourgeist. The Poltergeist, though, hitting it in return. Not doing as much damage as I was expected, though, with the Ice Punch connecting and taking down the Gourgeist. This Conkeldurr, pretty strong. With Guts especially. Cinderace then comes in to replace it. And the Mach Punch coming through, critting the Cinderace, but doesn't take him down. With the Zen Headbutt, able to take down this Conkeldurr. Gliscopod then comes back in. And the switch to Duraludon right away to predict that Aqua Jet coming through. The quad effective Aqua Jet, and the Haraki Helmet takes the Gliscopod down to his emergency exit range to bring the Volcarona out. Duraludon, being scared right away, goes into the Cinderace, and it takes a Fiery Dance. Of course, the Volcarona getting a boost from Fiery Dance and switches right into the Runerigus with the Zen Headbutt connecting, doing just a little bit of damage, but the Wandering Spirit giving Libero to this Runerigus. And an Iron Head coming through, and it flinches Runerigus. Another Iron Head coming through. And the Poltergeist misses the Cinderace, brings it to a full Ghost type though, but the miss on the Poltergeist. Another Iron Head coming through. And the flinch! This Runerigus just not able to do too much right now, unfortunately. Another Iron Head coming through. And the Stealth Rock then being set up from this Runerigus. But is it enough? The Iron Head comes through. Runerigus survives and gets flinched again. Poor Runerigus just not able to do too much here and switches out into that Gliscopod. The Iron Head then comes through again. And the switch from the Cinderace into the Duraludon. Again, another Aqua Jet coming through, not doing too much damage. And another Rocky Helmet hit, doing a little bit more damage. The Gliscopod then being scared off into this Electros. With a Dragon Tail switching off the Electros. Back into that Gliscopod. Gliscopod then swaps out right away. Another Dragon Tail, able to take down this Runerigus now, but gives the Wandering Spirit back to this Duraludon. Volcarona then comes in, and a switch into the Cinderace, but the Cinderace will fall from the Stealth Rocks. Giving, the Fiery Dance though, didn't go for an immediate Quiver Dance. Heliolisk then switching in, and the Surf connecting, but doesn't knock it out, and the Citrus Berry bringing this Volcarona back to over half HP, leaving it able to just do a Quiver Dance. Get its stats just massively boosted, but the Giga Drain doesn't do too much to this Heliolisk. With a Surf connecting again, bringing it back down to 36%. But the Fiery Dance, though, connects and takes down the Heliolisk, but the Volcarona at 2 times attack and 1.5 times speed. This is a really scary look for the Peloton Penguins. Another Fiery Dance connects. The Fiery Dance taking down the Duraludon, bringing the Volcarona at 2.5 times speed now. Just something really scary now. Swampert then coming in. The Giga Drain, quad weak Giga Drain taking down the Swampert, bringing the Volcarona up to over half HP. And it's just this Archeops left. But does the Archeops outspeed? It does not. The Fiery Dance taking down the Archeops, leaving the Cross-Brander Brawlers as the winners of this battle. 2 Pokemon have been taken down, though. Another Pokemon was quite close. Who was it? Gliscopod almost got knocked out, and that was it. Really good battle, really good showing from both teams. Just the Cross-Brander Brawlers coming in with the victory this time around.